I mean, but if we was to go Bob, it would have to be a really, really deep. I would just have to have it like a really deep part. You're the expert. And then we could go from there. I'm just telling you because I don't want you to be like, oh, see, no, just like your normal boss. You know,
everybody's hair is different.
Yeah.
I know my hair isn't as thick as everyone else's either. That's my whole.
Because what did your? Well, I think you'd be cute in a real shortcut, but you know you and you gonna cry, you gonna miss it. No.
But we can do this. I would say maybe today.
Because I don't want you to be sad. So today, let's like do the best bob I can do. We might have to go a little shorter in the back so I can even everything out so it won't be like an empty space missing. And then we can go from there. Like if the thinner area doesn't bother you once we have the bob, and you can kind of just sleep on it, well, literally sleep on it, like that, and then just see like exactly what you want to do. If you can go shorter from there, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Do that. So let's take time to think about it, because it's like your head's kind of always going to be there unless you plan on giving it away.
She has no heat damage and no chemical damage. This is coming from dipping her braids in boiling hot water and apple cider vinegar.
A new law will allow certain cosmetic professionals to practice without regulation from the state of Mississippi Cosmetology Board. Yeah, Governor Tate Reeves signed House Bill 1312 into law April 9th. The bill would allow eyebrow threaders, eyelash technicians, and makeup artists to work without an esthetician's license. The bill is the result of several lawsuits filed by the Mississippi Justice Institute and years of litigation. According to a spokesman from MJI, prior to the new law, these specific professions needed hours of training that didn't apply to their skill sets.
So MJI took legal action for Amy, and because of that, as you can see, the business is still open and it's still thriving and they're doing great. And now anybody in Mississippi who wants to apply eyelash extensions for a living can do that.
Now, with this new law, the Cosmetology Board can't impose fines, civil or criminal penalties against unlicensed workers of these specific trades.
It is a fact that women who wanted to do hair with no license went to court and sued, and it changed the field of cosmetology forever. Because of women who decided that they didn't want to go to school, now you can get your hair done by people who have no license whatsoever. What you're seeing right now is Demodex mites that live on the eyelashes, and so many women that get eyelashes are experiencing this and different forms of inflammation because the women who are doing eyelash extensions on you guys have no license and are not even educated in any way, shape, or form to do them. And the same thing goes with your hair. If you've never been to cosmetology school and you see this, you have no idea what it means. But if you went to a good school and you paid attention and you were there for more than how to make money, then you will remember that the hair is a fiber. It is a polypeptide chain constructed of 3 bonds: the salt bond, the hydrogen bond, and the disulfide bond. Now, the person that you're looking at right now, you will look at her hair and you would say, okay, this is heat damage, right? That's the disulfide bond. That's the permanent bond that's broken when you damage your hair with heat or chemicals, right? But in this case, her damage is coming from the salt bond. The salt bond in the hair is the bond that is broken by highly acidic products. And baby, you can't get more acidic than apple cider vinegar. So I'm in Vegas and my clients in the summer months, it's over 100 degrees here. So they will go to braiders that have no formal education on the human scalp. They're dipping their braids and their real hair in boiling hot water. And on top of that, whenever they go in for a shampoo, they're soaking their braids in a pool of apple cider vinegar and essential oils, which down the line end up breaking down the hair shaft. And when you're just going into the hair salon and letting and trusting them, and they're taking the braids out and putting them right back in, you never really see your hair. So when she came in to see me, this is what we saw. Now I'm gonna put some video links in the description box below so you can see what her hair looked like before she went to see the braider. This was a constant roller coaster, you guys, and it is all because of the lies Team Natural spit out to you, and it's ongoing, but now you're getting the end result. Let's keep going.
On the number 2 spot, we have 4C hair. Now, you lot with 4C hair, you have sponge heads. You literally can't style your hair. Your hair is the same consistency when it's dry and when it's wet. Your hair could damn near be as long as mine. I'm talking about down here. And your hair will literally look like you barely got anything. You have mad shrinkage. Cut your hair off. There's no point in growing that out. You're cooked, finished, seasoned. And now last but not least, and being the worst hair type by far, 4C hair. Listen to me, I've said it once and I'll say it again. It says right here, if you have 4C hair, you might as well go bald. 4C hair has way too much shrinkage. It's literally horrible. And you will never ever be able to comb it out in peace because there's knots everywhere. Another thing is, 4C hair looks the same when it's dry and when it's wet, which is crazy. No matter how hard you wash it and how much hair product you put on it, your hair will look the same. You are not valid, my friend. Go bald. If you're a guy, you're still cooked, but you're not as cooked as girls. Girls cannot rock 4C hair, bro. You can't. Because a guy can have his hair short, and a girl, you're gonna have your hair short, you're gonna be bald. That's why I say you might as well go bald.
I have to be at work in 30 minutes. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make it look presentable to the public. When at first, some of this, I can't go like this. My hair is only long enough to do little space buns. Is that a bit childish for work? What do you do? What do you do? Smoothie styler? I didn't know black people could use tangle teasers. They're actually pretty sick. I don't think I have enough hair to do a high bun. Wait, what is that hump? 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm gonna have a peck. Maybe a bow? No. My arms. I'm actually gonna start crying. Wait, this looks really bad. I'm just gonna pin this down. Why is it still sticking up? Why is it still sticking up? ORS grip gel. Put on some earrings so I don't look like a Nigerian village boy. Why? I'm just gonna colour it in with black eyeliner because I don't have time to piss around. All that work. And what did it get me? The only plus side is that I work with all white women. It doesn't matter how busted my hair looks. They always tell me I look nice. They don't even know what they're looking at.
Morning, sorry I'm late.
Oh, like your hair.
Dear.
Yeah, you look gorgeous with your hair like that.
Oh, I was having a breakdown this morning over it.
She looks like a model, doesn't she?
Do you see the shame and the rage baiting? Because of Team Natural and their lies, you guys are incapable of doing simple practices that make it really easy for you to style your hair daily. Let's keep going.
The perfect way to tame your mane. And we're talking with celebrity hairstylist and creator of the Gold System, Andre Walker. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, we don't have just any hairstylist, folks. This was Oprah's hairstylist. Hello.
Yeah.
You are the hairstylist.
For 30 years, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How did you get into hairstyling? Because there's always a good story behind it.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, I always was intrigued by hair, and I always played with it, so I started doing my mother's hair and her wigs. When I was in grade school, and by the time I was in high school, I was like doing her wigs for church on Sunday.
Wow.
So that's how it really started.
And people say that doing wigs is difficult, so if you can do wigs, then you can do anyone's hair.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Well, I see you have your natural hair. You came with your curls. That's what we're talking about. There's so many different hair types. There's so many different kinds of women from different walks of life. And you have created a system where you can kind of classify it, identify what's yours, and know how to manage it.
Right, and I created the hair typing system so it'd be easy to identify your hair type, because before we used to talk about hair as a culture or as a race, and we know that within those cultures or races, they're all different textures of hair. So I wanted to break it down into 4 categories so people can easily relate. relate to it and know what products to use. And that's what I designed the gold system based around also for the different hair types.
I know that we're both wondering, what are those 4 types?
Type 1 is for straight hair, and within that group there are different degrees of straightness, coarse and medium and fine. Then number 2 is wavy hair, which is, you know, a slight wave to maybe a little bit of curl.
That might be some of you, Danielle.
And
maybe. I'm a C wave, I think. Really?
but you blow your hair out too, so it's hard to see right now. And then there's type 3, which is what I am. And Felicia, I think you're type 3 because you blow your hair out straight
I don't know. I might be type 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might have to add on a whole nother type on there.
And you know, that's not unusual.
I feel like I have all of it.
People have a lot of different hair types on their head. So you could have 2 or 3 different types.
And it's one more type, right?
So we're in 3, and then there's type 4, which is kinky texture, which is a very tight, coily, kinky, highly textured hair.
Yeah, I think my natural curls are a little bit looser than yours, so I think I got the curly, the wave, and the kink.
So I think you're probably a type 3
and a half.
Yeah, right, 3 and a half. Yeah.
So we have these products, and they're all different depending on the type of hair you have?
Well, they're different styling creams for different hair types. So if you're type 1, you probably would use the Get It Straight, just our styling cream. If you're type 2, wavy hair, you would use our Beautiful Curls as a leave-in styler. Also, if you're type 3, you could use that. But type 4 also has what I call the Beautiful Kinks, which is a leave-in styler that you can also do twist outs with also. And with the models that we've done today, I've tried to leave them in their natural texture as much as possible. But a couple like type 4, I twisted her out just so you can see the versatility of having natural hair and
awesome.
twist it out.
We have a lot more Oprah questions and hair questions for you, and Andre's sticking around next hour. He's teaching us some simple ways to style our hair. And if you guys have questions, send them over to us, a tweet at the Jam TV show, and visit Andre's website for more information.
Great.
All right, at the bottom of the hour, your news headlines.
Everyone starts out with the Ultimate Moisture Shampoo and the TKO Conditioner. I diffused her with the Cool Dryer with the Beautiful Curls in it, and voila.
Okay, and then let's go to our third model here.
Danielle is a type 4, and she has a tight, kinky texture that doesn't have a coil pattern, is more of a zigzag pattern. So what we did here was
Hey girl, that's our before picture.
So, like I've been saying for over a decade now, the curl top and chart is not real. This man that you just looked at, his name is Andre Walker, and he was Oprah Winfrey's hairstylist. He did her wigs and her weaves. He was not anyone who specialized in natural hair, meaning the hair that is growing out of your scalp, but his specialty was wigs and extensions, okay? And he made up the curl type and chart as a way to sell the hair products that you just saw him talking about. And what's funny, if you guys rewind and pay attention to his curl type and chart, if you pay attention, the 4s had no C, and originally he didn't even include 4s. The curl type and chart only went from 1 to 3. It was 1 A and B, 2 A and B, and 3 A and B. And then they were like, oh, well, we need something for curlier textures. And he was like, okay, we'll do 4 A and B. And then down the line, once YouTube took it over and made stuff up, right, then they added the C, and then they made up all of these other things. But licensed cosmetologists have been behind the scenes fighting for their license, fighting for the real science of cosmetology. And unfortunately, licensed cosmetologists legally lost the fight to Team Natural, and Team Natural has completely taken over. That's why the majority of people that you guys go to see now do not have a license. But it was brought to my attention that there are quite a few licensed cosmetologists that suck, that don't know what they're doing. And I just want to say this, you guys, in every profession there are good and bad professionals. let's use a mechanic for an example. A mechanic is a trade. Being a mechanic is having a trade just like doing hair is. So you will meet amazing mechanics, like, oh my God, when you move away, or if they move away, it's devastating because they're a great mechanic. But then you'll go to the wrong guy or girl to fix your car and they will ruin it because they suck. Does that mean that all mechanics suck? No, it just means that this one specific one or these couple of sucky mechanics that you kept picking really sucked. But does that mean that everybody who fixes cars sucks? Absolutely not. And it is the same thing with the field of cosmetology. However, with the field of cosmetology, we have two problems. In part one, most of my blame went to the people who are not professionals. But now today, in part two, the majority of the blame, in my opinion, is going to all of the cosmetologists that sold out. Because I don't care what any of y'all say, 4A, 4B, 4C, 4D, 4W, it's not in any of our books. So all of the cosmetologists who have taken on Team Natural stuff are just the ones that folded. I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm giving y'all a couple of receipts from different news articles and different things like that. I gave you a lot more news clips in part one, so make sure you go watch that. But y'all, this has been a fight that cosmetologists who are focused on the science like me have been fighting for a really long time. In part one, I showed you a cosmetologist that's old enough to be my mom that filed a lawsuit and lost to Team Natural Stylists, right? And the Team Natural Stylists are literally women who are saying, I don't feel like spending all of that time going to school. Is too much money, and we shouldn't have to go to school and be regulated to learn anything because culturally we black and we all know how to do hair. And that's what ended up happening. So as a result, now the mud is really dirty and pee food and muddy because everybody has just been able to come in. There are no gates. There's no more gatekeeping. And in some senses, gatekeeping is bad. But in my opinion, as it pertains to the hair industry, gatekeeping is something that should have never been taken away. Because if you pay attention, you can see all of these shorter pieces in her hair. And again, I'm going to try to find the video of how her hair looked the very last time I cut it. It was nothing like this. And situations like this is one of the main reasons I decided to step away from behind the chair, because I wanted to focus on the science of hair, and it was impossible for me to do that because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? So it's hot more than it's cooler. So whenever it's 100 degrees outside, whatever repair job I've done on my client's hair is going to be undone, because the Team Natural Stylists are who, not all of my clients, maybe about 30%, that's who they all went to see in the summer. And then everybody's like, oh, it's silk press season. No, it's repair season. That's what we call it in the hair salon. It's repair season. And leave me some comments below, because really soon we're gonna have another licensed cosmetologist come up here, and we're gonna do a panel and just have this conversation together, so you guys won't think it's just me. But I always get some people from the Team Natural community like, oh, why can't we do other things other than straight hair? Listen, forever, for decades on top of decades, our grandmothers and mothers have been doing roller sets and flexi rod sets and perm rod sets. If you want to wear your hair big and curly and you don't want to wear it straight, or you don't want to use a flat iron, you could do a roller set or a perm rod set or a flexi rod set or a straw set. But just leaving your hair wet is not a thing. And when I say just leaving your hair wet, it'll always be somebody in the amen corner like, we don't never leave our hair wet, we let it air dry. Listen, if you cannot pick up a comb and comb through your hair when it is out, then you need to pick another style. And it's just as simple as that. Because the thing is, the reason that you guys are seeing constant breakage, which we're going to talk about in this next clip, the reason why you guys are seeing the same exact breakage around the world, Craig, not just the city, the world, because women used to come to see me from all over. The next woman that you're about to see came to see me from New York, and I was in Las Vegas. So this is something that you guys are doing everywhere, because everybody is doing the same Team Natural practices. Everybody is swearing by the same made up things. You guys have been following the people who fought to do your hair without going to school. I need y'all to understand that when you go in to see these, oh, I'm a team natural stylist, I didn't need a license. They fought so they don't have to go to school to educate themselves further to learn more about your scalp, because they felt like they already knew enough. And these are the things that I need you to know, because this picture right here, if you were to show this to any of your team natural stylists, none of them are going to know what the hell this is, what you're talking about, or how to even break the things in this picture down to make sure that you have a healthy hair growth cycle or hair pattern. And these things are really, really important. Hair styling, like the hairstyle that you have, how cute your hair looks in the pictures, is literally the least important step. I know it seems like the most important step, but it is the least important step. Styling your hair and actually knowing the science of the hair are two completely different things, right? I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Before I went to cosmetology school, I could do hair. Okay, I was able to do hair. I was doing my friend's hair when I was 14, 15, 16, and when I was in college in Florida. So it's in me. I've been excellent at hair for a long time, but the things that I know now and the things that I learned in cosmetology school, I did not know. Nowhere close, right? So again, now we are at a place where I have gotten the majority of the damage off of her hair, right? But we are nowhere near done. But I have always been like anti-big chop. I did a big chop, but it wasn't a big chop. My hair was already short and shaved in the back. So I probably cut 2.5 inches of relaxed hair off the very top of my head. But that wasn't a big deal. Like, it was literally a little bit of a pixie. But like, just to shave your whole head off, you don't have to do that. There are certain types of haircuts that you can get, you know, where you can create layers and camouflage, and that's what we went for in this video. All right, so I really hope that it makes sense, but I say it on my channel all the time. Everything works until it doesn't. And there are so many cases where Black women are feeling like they're ugly, or they're less than, or you're not natural if you don't want to wear your hair in either braids, twist, or wash and go. And it's so unfortunate because Black women are so free that they choose chains. Not only have you choose chains, but you've labeled your chains, and you've made your sisters feel shameful for not wanting to be under the same bondage that you're under. The color of your skin does not equate to a certain style that you can wear. It doesn't. Your patterns and your routines just need to change. And see, the reason that most Black women are so confused with what to do to their hair is because the routines and patterns that y'all follow are patterns that nobody else on this globe follows. Every woman walking the face of this earth is going to dry her hair, and even if they air dry, they're only doing it for a little bit. By the way, this isn't a regular edge control that I'm putting on her hair. Is more so like a wax stick, but I was using a couple of my finger pieces to get it out anyway. But it's not a regular edge control. It's not blocking her pores or follicles or anything like that. But these are things that I really, really want you to think about, because when we are talking about your hair and styling your hair, everybody is so freaked out about using a comb or a blow dryer. And contrary to popular opinion, Black women are not the only women with curly hair, but you would never know that, because all of the other women that have curly hair, they understand that for the sebum to travel from roots to ends, they need to keep their hair stretched. That's it. That's all. And it's crazy because sometimes people will be like, oh, well, you don't, they didn't have blow dryers back in the day, but they had other ways to dry their hair with steam, room, smoke, and so many other things, right? But again, we stopped listening to professionals, and now you guys are not using professional product lines. That's my old product line. Don't worry about it. It's with the way y'all do product lines, I would never. It's anyway. You guys are using product lines made by celebrities that have nothing to do with the hair industry, and going to hair salons that are owned by singers that have nothing to do with the hair industry, and these singers are hiring these people who do not have any type of cosmetology license. And again, you guys can go check out part 1 if you want even more information on that. But you guys, on top of women going to people who don't have cosmetology license, a lot of you cosmetologists are trash, and y'all really need to keep learning, and we're going to talk about that even more. But I want us to first get into this lady that went to Rihanna's salon. Seriously, Umbrella, she got a salon. Come on. Don't go under the umbrella. She don't know nothing about hair.
I look like someone who's just come back from the salon. Fenty Hair Salon? Fenty Hair. This is Fenty product in my hair. That is the edge control in my hair. Let's get into it. So I booked an appointment to have a voluminous style that I chose on the website. The salon does say that it caters to all hair textures, as do the products, allegedly. So I was feeling confident. So I came in today, 10 o'clock, and I sat down in the chair. The hairstylist didn't really say hello to me. She didn't really acknowledge me. It was very, very weird. The girl at the reception did, but as soon as she handed me over to my actual black stylist, I was like, hi. She was like, hi. And I was just like, oh, just to let you know, my hair is natural. It was chemically treated a few months ago, well, like about 6 months ago, but it's grown out now, but my hair is mostly natural, and it's a pixie cut. I was basically doing the consultation for her. Like, she didn't once ask me a question about my hair. Not a single question before she wasn't interested in my hair before she actually started pulling out the products. Like, there wasn't any consultation at all. She showed me the product. She doesn't really talk me through what the product does or how the chemicals work to treat the hair or to strengthen the hair. She just gives me a very vague summary of it, and then she just starts putting in my hair. And then she started applying heat to my hair. It's like she didn't know how to blow dry natural hair. It was very bizarre. I believe that from the moment I showed up in front of her, she was just annoyed at the prospect of having to do my hair. She started to blow dry my hair, but she didn't have the correct blow drying tools. And I did mention this to her. I was like, why don't you have the proper blow drying tools for Afro kinky hair? And she was just like, oh, these are the only ones we were given. I did ask, but they didn't give them to us. I was like, okay, fine, you can definitely make it work, but she wasn't making it work. She was literally dragging the comb from the root of my hair down to the ends as she was applying the heat. And I did mention, I was just like, hey, my head is tender-headed, but also it's really supposed to be from the tip to the root. We'll come back to what she said about that later on. So she did the blow dry. It was a very, very mid blow dry. In fact, it was barely a blow dry because a lot of my roots were still in its kinkiest texture. It wasn't actually in its blown out form, which you need for it to be straightened. But also, I have a red carpet tonight. So I was like, I'm definitely gonna sit here and do my hair. Never gonna come here ever again. So once the blow drying was done, she brought out the straighteners. The straightening was looking really good. My hair was looking really healthy. And I made sure I did a protein treatment, moisture treatment, washed my hair thoroughly the night before so that when I came in, we're good to go. So straightening the hair, and I noticed, I was like, oh wow, she's really good with the straighteners because I'm not feeling anything on my scalp, I'm not feeling any heat on my scalp. Come to find out, when she starts getting to the front and I can see her better, she's actually not even straightening the roots. She's just avoiding them completely. And when it was brought up, she was like, oh, I don't want to burn your scalp, or I don't want to get heat on your scalp. And it's like, but if you're a professional stylist, you should know how to be able to straighten natural hair without getting heat on the scalp. So as I started to really push back on these issues, she kind of got an attitude, and she was like, listen, your hair's natural, so that's why it's gonna be harder for you. It's natural hair, and at the end of the day, it's not gonna be, like someone else's hair. Even if I straighten it, it's gonna lose all of the straightened texture because your hair's natural. It's just gonna revert. And I'm like, if you are a qualified hairstylist for black hair, you should know how to do a blow dry and straightening, which is basically the latter half of a silk press, and that hair should withhold that heat for at least 2-3 days. Some people, their silk press can last them a week or more. Obviously it's down to upkeep, and then to be fair, I am liking like the little like waves and the texture and the curls and stuff. And then I do mention to her, hey, like the way you're combing my hair, like you're combing it straight from the root down to the tip. Again, this was mentioned before, by the way. This is not the first time I've pushed back. I was pushing back a lot, which is why she was catching an attitude. And so she said, there's nothing wrong with the tips of your hair, like it's healthy. And I'm like, yeah, like even if it's healthy, you're still not supposed to be combing from. It's very much giving the aunties on, like, you know, if you go to Peckham or any of these places to do your hair and they're just combing it straight like that, because they don't care about natural hair. They don't care about the safety, protecting it. They don't care about the breakage. They don't even care that it's connected to your scalp and it could be hurting you. They just don't care. It's almost like they're angry at the natural hair. I was like, no, you're supposed to do it like gradually, building up from here, 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 and then getting to the actual root and at the scalp area. And she was just like, look, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt when we're doing your hair because your hair's natural. If your hair was relaxed like mine, it wouldn't be that bad.
You guys, you have to really take some accountability in this. At what point in Rihanna's career did she stress that she had monster interest in having a hair salon? And getting your hair done does not equate to you just walking in a hair salon, hey, excuse me, can somebody do my hair? Absolutely not. When you walk into a hair salon, you ask for a business card. You ask them, do they have a website or any work that you can see? And if you can book a consultation, you sit down with that person, you get to know them. And guess what? If you would have booked a consultation with that woman, you would have known that she had no bedside manner. You would have known that she was rude and you didn't like the sound of her voice. You would have known all of these things. But the thing is, she was irritated because you walked into a Fenty hair salon where they're either doing women who don't have curly hair, women who have relaxers, or women who want to do wash and goes. Women who think that all of these hair products that these celebrities are making are actually going to do something for their hair. But in cosmetology, in the world of cosmetology, our hair products are just tools. We're using dime size amounts of products, not globs and puddles of products. And the thing is, when most of my clients came to me for the first time, they had holes in their cuticles and holes in their hair shaft. And these would be the women, if there were too many holes, like what you're looking at right now, that's the hair's cuticle. If there were too many holes in the cuticle and hair shaft, I wouldn't even do their hair, because then they would blame me for heat damage. And this is the thing, most of you guys, your team natural practices are destroying your hair's epicuticle layer, literally destroying it, because you think conditioners are amazing and you think oils are amazing. Look at how much oil is actually in conditioner. Look.
We'll create our base. To a large microwavable bowl, add 32 ounces of water and 3 ounces of hair conditioner concentrate. Heat in the microwave for 4 minutes. Stir the mixture and return to the microwave. Microwave until the conditioner pellets have completely dissolved. Use a hand mixer to blend the water and conditioner together. Add 1 1/2 ounces of kupawasu butter and allow the butter to melt into the hot mixture. Gently stir. Next, we will add our additives. Add 1/2 ounce of fractionated coconut oil, 6 milliliters of vitamin E, and 6 milliliters of silk amino acid. Blend with the hand mixer until the product begins to thicken. Finally, we will add our preservative and fragrance. Add 12 milliliters of Optifen Plus and 1/2 ounce of shea and coconut fragrance oil. Blend until all additives are fully incorporated. Cover the mixture and allow it to sit overnight. The next day, stir the conditioning mask to ensure a consistent texture. Our product is ready for packaging. Use a spoon to scoop approximately 3 ounces to each jar. Once all jars are filled, twist on the tops. If you plan to sell this deep conditioning hair mask,
do you see how many container she made out of that very, very small amount of oil. See, if you haven't been to school, or if you didn't focus and because you folded when the Team Natural community hit, then you just said to do away with everything that I learned in school, and I'm gonna start drenching my clients' hair in oil. And guess what? To help out my bottom line, everybody's obsessed with these products. I'm gonna sell some products. I'm gonna sell my own oils and my own butters and my own greases, and then they just teach you how to slap it in your hair. You don't know why you're slapping it in your hair. You don't know what type of yeast and bacteria you're feeding. All you know is one pro, which is, oh, black women don't have grease, or black women don't have oil glands, so you gotta add grease and your hair gotta stay wet because that's how you keep it moisturized. And then you guys just follow all of these lies that end up leading you here. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos with women who came to see me from all over with the same exact type of damage. How do women from all over the world, in different states, in different countries, have the same damage? I can tell you how. Everybody's following the same practices. Everybody believes the same lies. And I can say that in the fight between non-licensed cosmetologists and people who thought that they can just come into the industry without putting any work in, without going to school, those people won. And it is a fact. You can research it for yourself. The majority of people that you guys are going to do not have a license. And even though there are a lot of cosmetologists that y'all are going to that have licenses, that's because the bar is so low. Get into this. When I graduated from cosmetology school, it was about 35 girls in my class. Out of those 35 girls, 3 of us do hair. And 3 of us are actually good. The rest of them suck ass. And it's a fact that every couple of years, every year, about 30,000 new cosmetologists hit the industry. But peep game, what you're looking at right now is the hair's follicle and the hair's pore. The average human being has 100,000 follicles on the scalp, and every follicle has anywhere between 1 to 4 strands protruding out of each pore. This is what happens when your hair begins to thin. At first it's working. You're washing goes, you sleeping in the conditioner, everything. At first it's working. Your hair looks all glossy and greasy and shiny. Girl, you look like you just dipped your head in some chicken grease, right? But over time, you end up suffocating the follicle. You end up overfeeding the scalp's natural microflora. And then that hair's follicle goes from having 3 to 4 different strands of hair coming out of each pore, down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. And by the time you have went bald, you have 0 hairs protruding out of the pore. And why is this? It's because by you putting oils and butters and greases on the scalp, by you constantly leaving the hair wet, you incur hydrofatigue. Hydrofatigue is when the hair's follicle, it never stops being swollen, because every time you wet your hair, right, the follicle swells. So if you are a person who's trying to lock on the moisture by putting something like coconut oil in your hair's follicle, it never unswells. So then you end up getting hydrofatigue. And then as a result of that, because you have all of these layers of products on your scalp and on your hair shaft, you're cutting off oxygen flow. And by you cutting off oxygen flow, you also are making the epicuticle layer of your hair shaft weaker. The epicuticle layer is the layer of your hair shaft that protects you from UV radiation. The epicuticle layer of the hair shaft is hydrophobic. It's the layer of the hair shaft that helps you to block some of the humidity a little longer. Like, it has so many important factors. But guess what? If you've never been to cosmetology school, or if you didn't pay attention, or if you are not somebody who keeps going to school to re-educate yourself, then you're not going to know any of these things. And so, just like with every other profession, right? With every other profession, there are good professionals and there are bad professionals. This is an unpopular unpopular opinion, but as a black woman, I feel like black women are just held to this standard that no one else is held to. So because the field of cosmetology as it pertains to black women, it's like, no, black women can't have flaws. If they have a cosmetology license, every last one of them got to be good, even though, you know, in every profession there are good professionals and bad professionals. It's just up to you to know the science of the human body, so you understand lingo, so that way when you sit down and talk to somebody based on what you already know, you're sitting down for alignment and confirmation. My father, he's been gone for almost 11 years now, but my daddy used to always tell me, anytime you sit down and talk to somebody, they're never telling you something that you don't know. They're always giving you confirmation, even if it's brand new information. In a way, in the back of your head, it's a little piece of it you always knew was truth. So these are things that I want you to really, really think about. Know that you know that you know that you know. Know so much about your body. Know so much about the science of the human body as it pertains to you, that if you go to somebody that as soon as you sit down offers you a keratin treatment without even asking you your porosity, you can say at the end of the consultation, okay, thank you so much for your time, and then never book her. Don't just go sit in somebody's chair and let them touch your hair just because you called them and they answered the phone. No, because at that point it's 50-50. You're just as bad as the dusty cosmetologist that you went to. So that's all I wanted to pretty much get into, because I don't want it to look like I'm only pointing, you know, the blame at one party. I feel like collectively everybody can do a better job. As the consumer, you have to educate yourself and know the science of the human body so you know who to pick, just like you do with everything else. Cosmetologists, like y'all dusty ones, y'all dusty as hell, and y'all need to keep learning, because you just graduating from cosmetology school is not enough. You need to keep learning, keep evolving. And all of y'all ones that fought so y'all don't have to go to school, I hope y'all get diarrhea. How about that? That's how I feel. So I really hope that this video series really helps you guys get to know my passion a little more, because a lot of people knew nothing about this going on in the background, but I have, and I am one of the cosmetologists that was behind the scenes like, no, this isn't right, and we lost. Okay. We lost, and it's unfortunate because we lost at first, but now the consumers, you guys, are losing, because black women have the widest ranges and the numbers of black women with alopecia, seborrheic dermatitis, CCCA, folliculitis, and so many other scalp disorders and forms of alopecia are out of this world, and all of the root causes are the same. Your team natural practices. Hell, most of the girls who taught y'all in team natural have alopecia that they're either working on repairing, blame it on genetics, or now they've repaired and they're making videos, but also telling you that they're no longer doing natural hair videos. They're just gonna do commentary. So I really want y'all to pay attention. Hopefully I was able to put the comment up on the screen, because one of our sisters was like, oh my God, saying like this conversation was everything. Please do a part 2. So here we go, boo. Both of these videos were 7 years old. Every time I do these, people ask like, can you do my hair? No, I am retired. I'm no longer behind the chair. But leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I love you guys so much. This is my old intro, and I'm about to let it play because I don't got time. Okay. Bye, y'all.